Peace, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's been a minute, right? It's been a long time. Peace, y'all. I trust that life has been dealing you the hand that you deserve. I could go a couple different ways. You know what I mean? A myriad of different ways, actually. If I should be so loquacious. But, yeah, what's up, y'all? Yeah, so, I had to come back now. Tehuti told me to. And it is Tehuti's cycle, right? To my sidereal moon watchers, right? Couple weeks, there will be a full moon in Sagittarius. And, of course, we start cultivating that from the new moon, right? A few days ago. So, y'all will forgive me for being a little bit late, YouTube is not the only thing in the brother's life right now. So, anyway. Here we go, okay? We are talking to my peoples. In the persuasion of Aries. Peace, peace, my Aries people. What's good? Alright, so, hey. This even seems a little weird. It's been a minute. It's been a couple of minutes, alright? Okay, but it's all good, right? So, what we got on us right now is the solstice, right? Solstice in a couple weeks. So, I hope that y'all been fasting. Or at least cleansing out in preparation for a fast, right? Because, it takes a while, you know what I mean? I'm looking at some people who are looking at me who have never fasted a day in your life. Yo, let me tell you, please fast, okay? You know what I mean? Please go through the experience of just not allowing your animal to win. Of triumphing over your animal through fasting, through, being willful about what you put in and when you put it in. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, real fast that, for a few days you don't eat. Your digestive system shuts down. You get a little bit skinny, right? Because your body's feeding off whatever impurities, releasing that stuff, right? Renewing certain things within you. It is necessary to give the body a break. You know what I'm saying? And if you have never fasted, don't you know you got junk in you from years and years and years? You know what I mean? And not only physical junk, spiritual junk. You got stuff that has putrefied inside of you, right? That's in you. You got putrefaction in you. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine taking a plate of putrefaction? You know what I'm saying? That's nasty. You know what I mean? But that's in you. Some of y'all, that's in y'all. Y'all walking around, you never fasted, you never released certain things. And you go through, you don't know it, you don't realize it. Some of y'all do. But you go through emotional and spiritual, deficits, blockages, things like that, because of these things that stagnate within. It's necessary to flush, release that stuff. You know what I mean? There's a religious component to it for some people, a spiritual component to it, I should say. Not so much religious, but a some people do it as religion, right? It's a religious thing, there's a dogmatic principle attached to it and things like that. But, just get into this understanding of fasting just for the sake of your health, cleansing out. Don't you know that if you're a person who, battles with, obesity, that, a way that you can ensure that you won't never be obese is to fast periodically. You know what I'm saying? If you a big person, you know what I mean, and you don't want to be, use your will to fast at least one day a week. Just one day a week. Don't go without eating. I mean, no, don't go without eating. One day a week. And watch the change in your physical, and your mental, because fasting always strengthens your mentality, strengthens your spirit, When you apply your effort, the effort of your will to resisting something, that grows something in your brain, that grows a section of you that deals with, self, that helps you to realize self. When you triumph over animal, right? Because we're different parts. There's different parts to this thing that we are. You know what I'm saying? So when we, use our will, which is a part, right, to impose its, intention on the rest of the being, well, the rest of the being falls in line, And we need to nourish ourselves in this way. We need to do that. You know what I mean? We definitely need to do that. So fast, y'all. Fast. All right, so we at, what is it? The 9th, right? So, Solstice is going to be here around the 20th. It's about 11 days. Now is the time to start just eating bland food, just eating bland. Not so much salt, not no ketchup, no, mayonnaise, all of that stuff. Just start eating clean. You know what I'm saying? And, a few days before the fast, you want to kind of empty out so that by the time the fast comes, or by the time the, universe or the cosmos or the solar system is doing what it's doing, you can be already in tune. You know what I'm saying? So you really want to start, getting your fast on, something like the 17th. That's when you really want to start it, in terms of, eating a lot less and eating clean. You in those days, you on your fruits, you know what I'm saying, and you flushing stuff out. So that by the 20th, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, you are clean and open. And now the magic of what's going on in the cosmos, see, the holy days, these are the holy days, right? By now, those holy days can actually take effect within you. Now you can receive some effect of, the fact that the sun is the closest to the earth that it will be, right? And there is a veil that is going to be lifted, the spiritual forces, spiritual entities, your ancestors, right, are going to be in your ear, they're going to be, you are going to be receptive to their influences if you do these certain things. So, it's necessary to get this guidance, get guidance from your Shepsu, Yeah, man, whoa, I just realized, I can't do Aries just yet. There's too much stuff to talk about. I gotta talk about stuff, man. I wanted to say this, I saw how much participation I got in my law library video. I don't know if that's, the people not being interested in aspects of civics that are relevant to your current life and the way that you're being treated out here by cops and law officials, or YouTube, doing their shadow ban thing. YouTube really don't like spiritualists. People who talk about, from a real level, from a level of not just, oh, give it to Jesus. If you're not saying, oh, give it to Jesus, or something that is, regular, if you're not saying something regular about spirituality, YouTube is not your friend, So, that's what I realized. But, what else am I going to say? You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to say? I'm going to start preaching Jesus? It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I love Jesus, though. That's my people's. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But, excuse me, Yeshua. I love Yeshua. True indeed. Absolutely. But, I want to say to you, melanated individuals of the world, of the planet, right? At 10:19 on the clock, right? That's 11. Y'all don't know. Yo, listen, and people gonna get mad at me. Y'all already mad at me, so what I care? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say something about Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism to the Western melanated man has been a gift and a curse, because for every bit of aid it has given us for realization of who we are, it has caused us to ignore a great aspect of who we are. And that's reflected in our lives. That's reflected in our collective lives, our lives as a collective, right? Pan-Africanism, it's a good intention, right? It's nice intention. It's a great intention, right? To have an understanding of that history inside of our being. But what you are ignoring is the ancestry that is even closer to you, right? I'm talking about the indigenous individuals who came before you, who birthed you on this land, okay? If you haven't gotten into your history books about the history of this country, right? If you haven't gotten to the ship's logs of some of the early European settlers who came here, and listen to what they talked about, the people who are here and what they look like and their traditions, etc. If you haven't listened to your grand peoples, right, who told you long time ago who you are, right? If you threw all that stuff out the window, because they told us to throw that stuff out the window. If you obeyed them like a good slave, then that's what you always be, a good slave. And you will be lost to the influences of those ancestors. You know what I mean? Hey, unsubscribe if you don't like what I'm saying. Cut off the video if you don't like what I'm saying. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is facts. It's truth. Okay? And that's all I need. All I need is to be spitting truth out my face, and I don't care who listens. Okay? Alright? That's why I'm here. That's why God put me here, to spit that truth. Okay? So the truth is, you ain't black. Black is a crayon color. Alright? You and you and you ain't black. It's a crayon color. Alright? And y'all gonna say, oh, the Moors, this and that, whatever. Look at the history. Okay? You don't like the Moors, that's on you. Okay? That is history. You have to ask, why is the law, the origins of the law stuff all in Latin? Right? Who were the Latins? The Latins were the Moors. Right? And these are the people who made up all of these laws. You have to know the history. Look up the history, and you'll find that people who look like you had a big effect, effect on everything law related here. Okay? You have to understand who was in leadership before this European was in leadership. If you don't know these things, then get off my back. You know what I mean? Leave me alone. Go pick up a book. I just asked you to go study. Do that. Okay? That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? I ain't going, I know I got y'all upset. You know what I mean? People dealing with cognitive dissonance. They like, oh, what is he just saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all do what y'all got to do. I already done it. All right? I've done mine. Right? And that's a good thing sometimes about getting away from, the way you did things all the time. Right? You know what I mean? Some of y'all wrapped up into old dogma that helped you a long time ago, but there's a whole world out there. There's still a whole world, and there's still so much information out there. You know what I mean? You're going to be stuck in your pigeonhole of my religion or whatever. Nah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I realized that, oh yeah, there is a lot of light in going away from, your family. Your family, your community, your society. There is a lot of benefit from dealing with others in this world. What do they say? What's that cliche? Something about necessary to eat away from home or something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, see, God puts you here, makes you a certain way, then tells you that, hey, there's a world out there. And everybody don't look like you. And Are you supposed to just simply stay with your own? It's a mistake, y'all. It's a mistake to simply stay with your own. See, I realized that when I was trying to get business started from my own. I went to my own with the businesses that I have started. I wasted years because I was scared to go to somebody else. I didn't want to go to, these people over here, what I mean? I wanted my own to be up into my situation, and it was supposed to be us and all of that. Life has smacked me into awakeness because it was fallacy. You know what I'm saying? It was fallacy, you know what I mean? A lot of that stuff was, I sat through ritual after ritual, people talking about, taking the initiative and, entrepreneurship and, community togetherness, and it was all bullshit. A lot of it was bullshit because I came with it. And no, there was no readings done on what I was talking about. You know what I mean? There was nothing of that. It was just a decision. It was like, nah, we're not going to do that. Okay. All right. No problem. So, now I got to keep on. Now I got to find my family because mine's jetted. You know what I mean? Hey, we ain't going to make this about me. But, these lessons that I have learned, you know what I mean? I can give them to you. You know what I mean? Don't make some of the mistakes that I made. Yes, it is necessary to, delve into the identity that you have, the culture and things like that you've incarnated into. You know what I mean? It's necessary to get all that information about who you were, historically. But it's also necessary to deal with the world family. There's a whole world of people out here. You know what I mean? God made us in a diversity for a reason. Part of this game that God plays with itself is to unify amid the diversity. That's Osir, right? Unify. Unification is Osir. Osir is not prejudice. We prejudice. We prejudice. Stuff like that. Osir is not Osir. Osir wants to link with everybody. And, there's times when my prejudice, has caused me to not link with others. I believe Osir will look down upon that emotion. Yeah, life is about correction. We gotta correct ourselves sometimes. We're not always right. And we have to be able to recognize when we're not right. So, yeah, I guess that is, so, all right, I was going to do Aries right now, but I'm not going to do Aries right now because I talked too long. I'm going to make this a separate video. So what I'm going to do is do a weekly reading, right? I'm going to do a weekly pull, right, so that we can have some general guidance, right? And then I will come back with the readings for the solstice, right? For the signs, okay? We'll do it like that, okay? So, it's for the week, y'all. The week of June 8th, okay? Everything is prayed over and blessed, and the ancestors are here. So here we go. Said to Chas. Said to Chas. Said to Chas. Okay. All right. Yeah, so the Unitarians talking about what we talking about. Osir to Chas. What is Osir? Osir, like I said, is unification. Say to Chas. Alright. Love my handwriting. Alright. Yeah, y'all know I'm a little insecure about my handwriting. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's how I work it out. You know what I mean? But anyway. Osea tu chas, Osea tu chas, yes, you know. Life is telling us to nourish our oneness with this week. You know? This goes to everything I just said about fasting, right? About imposing the higher aspect of you, your higher self, upon the lower self, right? Making the lower self respond to the higher, right? Osea wants you to fast. Osea wants you to, cleanse yourself. Osea is purity, you know? You drinking, you smoking, you dealing with dusties. Leave it alone this week. You know what I'm saying? Next couple of weeks anyway, you know what I mean? It's the time. This is a spiritual time, folks. The holy days are upon us. It's no mistake we get Osea tu chas, Osea tu chas. The holy days are upon us again, right? You know what I mean? Y'all, we did this back, December, right? December, did going through the fast and all of that, right? Because of the solstice, right? These are the holy times, right? What's funny is, like, y'all not nowhere near ready for the full situation, right? Because the full situation is when we add the equinoxes on as well. You know what I'm saying? There's 4 days at the winter solstice. There's 4 days at the spring equinox. 4 days at the summer solstice, and 4 days at the fall equinox. That are, holy days, right? Why I say they're holy days? They're the true holy days because they're not based on some myth, not based on some story, some, something that the government wanted you to be on, so they introduced it to you so you could bring up their fiscal year, whatever, with the gift. They're not based on those things. They're based on what's going on in the universe, right? Or in the galaxy, right? What's going on with the Earth and the planets and the constellations and, and our connection to that, during this time is when you can definitely understand your connection to the all, right? Because the things that the all is doing, right? The cosmos, the way that the machinations, right? The movements, right? Are happening, are affecting your spirit in a certain way if you are receptive enough to peep it. You know what I mean? So, y'all know on my channel, I've been showing y'all how to get receptive, how to open yourself up, how to make yourself receptive to the spiritual impulses that occur, through the earthly movements. You know what I mean? So, that's why these are the true holy days, because they affect your spirit. You know what I mean? And observing them is about dealing with your health, right? This, how they say, mind, body, soul, right? Keep your body in shape, keep your body correct, right? And it helps your mind. And those two things helps you to be spiritually focused, right? It's is that a tandem? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's the three-way thing, right? They all matter. Right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody, put in the thing what I'm trying to say. But they all matter, right? Attend to your mind, right? Read your books, get some information inside you, you know what I mean? All that good stuff, right? Attend to your physical body, cleanse yourself, exercise, make sure you're getting your breathing right, make sure that this vehicle is getting breath, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And your spirit, you know what I mean? Don't ignore your dreams, don't ignore your ancestors, don't ignore your higher self is coming to speak to you. Sometimes you gotta ignore your lower self when it's coming to speak to you. All that spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? Alright. So yeah, man. Osea is a or sit on the table is saying that you have to, that I ain't gonna say you have to because nobody nobody likes being told what to do, right? You know what I mean? It's probably why I ain't got no subscribers now. but you need to, focus on your high self. Focus on, controlling your lower self. Or I should say, purifying, right? Focus on, keeping your head in a place that is pure. You know what I mean? The Dunatir says this is what will benefit you this week, right? To keep your intentions pure. Keep your, your headspace clear, Don't cloud yourself. Cleanse yourself. That's what you focus on this week. And you'll be in tune with the higher spiritual principle, right? For those that's watching this, your eyes sought out Osir, and this is you. All right, go to the EQ. Straight stress. Straight. Straight stress, straight. Straight. Straight stress, straight. Open stress. Close. Open stress, close. Open stress, close. We just talked about that the last time we did our E King, right? The 9th hexagram. Turning into the 44. Ninth hexagram, lines 1 and 4, stressed, going into the 44. All right. Okay. There's resistance, right? This is resistance, right? First line, speaking about returning to the way. Coming back. Gotta go back, right? Returning to the way. Talk to the True and Sherelle E King. Astrology there, E King, right? Scrolls. Okay. Returning to the way. How can this be blameworthy? Good fortune. Okay. This person knows intuitively the right path and the proper courses to follow. The first line indicates beginnings, so if he returns to the beginning and follows the path that he knew was right all along, what error can there be? Naturally, such action is in keeping with divine will, so he will have good fortune. Persons of common sense and good judgment are symbolized, who are also enthusiastic and ambitious. Okay? Yeah. Returning to the way that you know is right? So we talked about it being a spiritual time. This is returning to that way, right? The way of fasting, the way of preparing yourself to receive a spiritual message, right? Preparing yourself to, nourish and replenish so that you may continue forward, right? Doing what you're doing. All right? Most auspicious. He will follow the right way through life, aware of deviations, and knowing when to stop and when to proceed. His life will be good, and no one will be able to harm him. That's one, right? Yeah. One way to, arm yourself against, those who have ill intentions and use various whack juju means and things like that is to strengthen your connection to God and life, right? Because life is God. Right? By doing the right thing and being the right way, right? You strengthen yourself through keeping your head in a high vibration. So when these people send lowness at you, it don't see you. If you in a high vibration, that lowness that people send can't see you. Living right is a source of protection. Right? His life will be good and no one will be able to harm him. He will be loyal to the ruler of his country and to his leaders. He will also be helpful to his family and others. Okay? So for those of you who live in that reality, there you go. All right, least auspicious. He will also be resolute, straightforward, and upright man, not vain, not admiring hollow fame or titles. He will also have a good life. The least auspicious will be the least of all. Excuse me. The least auspicious of all will be lonely or recluses. Okay. All right. And one way to get away from like being lonely is to get with self, right? Y'all go back to that Osir meditation that I had. Real deep message came about, listen, let me let you know something about, being alone. First of all, if you are alone right now, just, and that's not where you want to be, right? Well, you're not always going to be alone, So it's not about, getting worried of, oh, I'll be alone or whatever like that. No, if you hold your head in the right place, then you use the time for what it is for. There's a time to be alone, There's a time to be alone, right? That hermit card. The hermit card talks about, an individual who gets with himself and by himself and is able to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Right? The lights can come on if you do the right thing while alone. Okay? If you're not moping, right? If you are not, existing as if, woe is me, or the end of the world, whatever, you have to use the time for what it is for. God places you where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. So if you find yourself alone, God is telling you, hey, concentrate on me, right? Concentrate on you, right? I just said the same thing. So y'all that know, they all know, right? Concentrate on me. I am God, and I am within you, And that's when the lights come on. If you do the right thing while you are alone, then the lights come on. You start realizing things. You start, if you meditate, sometimes it's necessary to get the rest of the people off your back from around you. You know what I mean? Let me go, I got something to do, So, everything is, what's going on up here. Everything is how you look at it, If you look at it, oh, woe is me, I'm alone, then that's woe is you. You create your reality, God. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at that time like, hey, this is a time for me to do some stuff by myself, then that's what it will be. It will be a time for you to, work certain things out, You'll come to the reason or the understanding of why you're alone, why, certain things had to, you had to do things differently. You'll find that, a lot of things you needed to leave alone. You find that a lot of things didn't nourish you. You know what I mean? And it is good that they are not there no more. You'll find out certain things. You'll find, depending on how receptive you make yourself, you'll get all kinds of revelations about people and about things and about the forward. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? Use the time. Use your alone time. You know what I mean? There is nothing bad about, getting with yourself. So get with yourself. And this is the spiritual time, right? So this is all in line, right? I love when things link up. Right, so, okay, so, all right, we beating this point up. All right, let's go to line 4. Line 4, interesting line. Okay, so, sincerity and confidence cause bloodshed to be averted. Apprehensions give way, no error. Okay. Sincerity and confidence cause bloodshed to be averted. Persons acting with sincerity and confidence induce trust in others, and consequently apprehensions disappear. These persons should be upright and reliable, and their leadership will generate emulation by others, and no errors will be made. Those who are both intelligent and wise will execute great influence. Those who are immodest and stupid are likely to cause bloodshed. Okay? So, it's just watch yourself. Watch how you walking out here. You know what I mean? Watch what you're saying out here. Watch what you're doing. Right? you have the, ability now to say something that may help or hurt someone. It's a responsibility. Use your responsibility wisely. Okay? He will be open-minded, modest, sincere, and confident, following the right paths. He will be a noble person with no great sorrows or hardships. He will be helped by his seniors, and he will have a good family life. Least auspicious. He is likely to be jealous and suspicious. Pardon. With no firm goals, ideas, or opinions. He may be ill frequently and subject to hardships and sorrows with few or no friends. Right? For officer or official, he will be transferred or promoted to a better position on the recommendation of his colleagues. Business professional, his life will be enhanced and advanced by his peers and associates and by his seniors. And for ordinary people, his desires will mostly be accomplished with modest success. The least auspicious may receive a serious injury. All right, so this is that line that tells you, as long as you are, moving right, being sincere in what you're talking about or what you, are dealing with, then you can be confident in how you're moving, right? And if not, right, if there is, some level of insincerity within you as you speak to an individual, as you, do that thing, then you can cause bloodshed. You know what I mean? Speaking with ulterior motives, things like that. Very much about sincerity, right? Sincerity here. Not everybody knows what sincerity means. Go to Osir, right? Go to Osir. You know what I mean? To live this reading correctly. Okay? All right, so this goes into the 44. All right, the 44 is the hexagram of coming to meet. And 44 is an interesting hexagram, to say the least, right? Some tarot heads would say the 44 is kind of a karmic situation, because you have, you have the 5 light lines, right, or the yang lines, which are positive lines, together, and into their group comes the yin element, right? So, this yin element, is kind of out of place. It's not in the right place. This is like the female who finds herself in a room full of 5 dudes, type of thing, right? The yin element comes in, kind of in that circumstance, it's like a seductive thing, right? This person will have a lot of the attention that's going on, right? And this could be good or bad, right? This could go, negatively if that individual is not of the proper will, right? And so, now, right, like the first line in the 44 talks about the lean pig, right? The lean pig that comes and, gets its way, right? But, it comes in, right? First it's a lean pig, but then it gets fed, right? It starts feeding, and now it becomes a fat pig, right? So now it starts to throw its weight around, right? It starts to get very comfortable with what it's doing. And it's not, it's not optimal. It's not the correct situation. It seems, we can use the same metaphor for, you got, a woman who wants to influence men. You know what I mean? So, she comes in, she got her legs showing, she got her behind showing, she got the cleavage way down here, you know what I mean? And she's trying to get eyes, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, it's a circumstance where it's not the best. It's kind of out of place situation, you know what I mean? For whatever that woman will gain, for whatever she's trying to do, she might get it, right? In that instance, but in the long run, you know, it's not going to be the thing that solves her problem, because none of those dudes that she's dealing with are going to respect her. You know what I mean? And that's going to visit her in a harsh way later on. You know? But, okay, so the maiden contact. The maiden is bold and powerful. One should not marry her. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be blunt, right? You know, when you are a maiden, you out there, you showing your legs, you trying to get all the attention, you trying to attract these dudes. Yeah, you know, ain't nobody gonna respect you. They gonna love your fat ass. You know what I'm saying? They are. They're gonna love all that, right? But they're gonna love it for what it is, and they ain't gonna love you for what you are, you know? Or, you know, if that's what you are, they ain't gonna love you. Because, you know, everybody will see the mistake that you don't see in that. You know what I mean? You got people who will let you do your goofy thing. You got friends who will let you be a goofball, right? Do your goofy thing, knowing that you ain't gonna get no husband. You know what I mean? They're gonna encourage you to do your goofy thing, knowing that, you know, your man gonna leave you eventually. You know what I mean? Or etc. Right? There's so many different examples of, you know, people who watch their friends, you know, go down. You know, oh my God, friends are overrated sometimes. You know what I mean? Because many people be having ill intentions that they don't tell you about. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's necessary to be leery of everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch your friends. Watch these people you call your friends. Watch these people who you tell your ideas. You know what I mean? You know what I'm finding. Oh my God. To everybody who I thought was my people, right? You know, you're not supposed to tell your plans to people who don't like you. You know what I mean? People who are not your people. Well, you know, I thought I was doing the right thing in the people who I confided in about what I'm doing. Turns out that all of these people were enemies. From my father to all of my brothers, they were all enemies. But they didn't tell me about that part. So I spoke a lot of my plans to people that never wanted to see me succeed. You know, good thing I got God. You know what I'm saying? You know. Anyway, you know, I've made this about me again. My bad. But yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, the 44, man. Watch out. Okay, so where we at, right? A double symbolism is contained in this hexagram. The first is given by the yin line, which is bold and powerful, and has entered the bottom of the hexagram of the otherwise all yang hexagram. Okay? Such a maiden consorting with 5 men is not the type one should marry. The other symbolism is given by the trigram Sun, wind, below, trigram Qian, heaven. Right? Heavenly matters are thus made known and their influence is felt everywhere. Conversely, whatever things are happening on earth will be known by those above. The controlling lines determine the nature of the meetings and relationships for all of those affected by them. In adverse lines, the inferior individuals are trying to rise primarily. With the auspicious lines, great personages are exercising commendable leadership. This line can also be this hexagram can also be a very spiritual hexagram as well. You know, because, you know, at the governorship, right, the 5th line, we have the medlar tree leaves. The medlar tree leaves hide the fruit. It drops from heaven. Okay, what does that mean? This line refers to the kind of person who quietly and unassumingly goes about his business and at the same time is always improving himself. No one pays particular attention to such persons, and in general they are not well known until suddenly the time is propitious, right? And they reap their reward as if it came from heaven. Right? So this is about coming to meet, then becomes, you know, the beneficent influences that come to meet you. right? The spiritual impulses, right? So we're going into a spiritual time, right? Osir, right? That's the top of the tree. Now is a time when, if you do the right thing in the first hexagram, resisting certain things, right? Resisting, returning to the way of cleansing, of fasting, of putting yourself in tune with the higher consciousness, then the higher consciousness can come now and dawn upon you, right? That's what we're doing at the 9 into the 44, okay? All right, we're gonna stop that right there and talk to the tarot. Talking about this week, right? This is all really in preparation for the solstice, which is coming. So, this is where to get your mind as the solstice comes. Okay, we have the 10 of swords in the reverse. 10 of the swords in the reverse. Okay? 10 of swords in the reverse. We got the 3 of pentacles in the reverse. Queen of Pentacles, upright. 10 of Peas. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 of Swords. In the reverse, we got the 3 Pentacles on the bottom in the reverse, right? So that's the main reading. And then, as supplemental, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Also, we can see the Judgment is in reverse. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here, right? There's a Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. And upright. And a 5 of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So that's really all that's playing here. Yeah, no, we got one more. And that's the Page of Pentacles. In the rear. Alright. Okay. Okay, a lot of stuff. So, firstly, we got the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Alright. 10 of Swords is, you just can't get away from these people who really need some spiritual work, right? Y'all, whoever's behind this 10 of Swords stuff, y'all want to stab people in the back, right? That's what that card looks like, right? This guy, he got them 10 swords sitting there. He's, the deity, right? The truth deity is over top of him, right? There is light in the background, so this means that there's, like in a 10 of Swords situation is one where there's betrayal, right? This is a card of betrayal, okay? So, but there's always, hope even in betrayal, because this deals a lot about thoughts, and, once betrayal happens, it brings the lights back on for many people, you know what I mean? If you're strong, like if you're not so strong, then this can hurt your heart. But if you know something about self, right? If you are self-aware, then you're going to bounce back from 10 of Swords, and then it's going to look like this, right? So 10 of Swords in the reverse is when you bounce back from betrayal. You bounce back from the ill effects of things that others did to you, right? People sending whack juju at you. This is when it bounces back, right? Especially if you've been cultivating Osir, right? You've been cultivating God's purity, right? You've been staying away from, sex, or sex with people who ain't right, right? You've been, cultivating your innocence, right? Through, your speech, and through your actions with others, right? You're staying pure. You are combating this stuff. This stuff, can now not affect you, right? This is back to what we was talking about before, living right. And, this makes it such that you'll be safe, right? Be safe if you live right. Three of Pentacles in reverse. What's this, y'all? What is the Ten of Swords in the reverse and the Three of Pentacles in reverse? This is groups that have been acting in such a way where they're harming people, betraying people, they're turning upside down. They're having problems. So these are groups that are having problems now. So look for, certain group affiliations, that have not had your best interest at heart. Look for them to fail right now. Look for them to go down. There's some stuff that's happening there that's not in their favor. Yeah, things are falling for some organizations that ain't right. It could be organizations. It could be, I look at it in my life. I see covens, right? There are covens, groups of people who have linked together to disenfranchise others who are now feeling it. You heard that? Who are now feeling it. Yeah, Hey, y'all, let God do your fighting. You don't gotta, dibble and dabble. You do your protection work, you do your cleanse work. You send that stuff back. You know what I mean? And when the juju comes at me, I send it back to where it came. You know what I mean? And it falls how it fell. It falls the way you intended it to fall for me. So I just deal with God. I say, I don't even have to put names on it. I don't have to, although I do have some names. I do have names. You know what I mean? But I let God deal with it. You know what I mean? Let God deal with it and watch these covens fall. Watch these groups that ain't right, that act like they right? They preaching God this and God that. They ain't right. For real. Y'all heard that? You know what I mean? Yo, the Sheps is with me. They talking through me right now. Yeah. Everybody that you think is right ain't right. And they falling right now. They're catching it. They're having problems. Let's say that. Right? Y'all need to get back right. Right? Queen of Pentacles is cultivation. Right? Somebody's cultivating something. Cultivating themselves. They're cultivating something, right? Be it business, be it, projects, whatever it may be, right? There's something going on, right? Into the Judgment reverse, right? The Judgment is reverse, right? There's a ill judgment is being called, right? Things are being, a reckoning, right? You got sincerity. Someone in sincerity. We got the Knight of Cups. In the upright, so someone has the idea of, linking in a positive, friendly way. But, this stuff that's around him or her is hindering him or her in linking with others. His judgment is off, perhaps. You know what I mean? But then again, you got the Five of Wands in reverse. So this is like, the ill intentions are reversing themselves. Someone's losing this fight. Somebody is involved in a fight that ain't even fighting. But the people who are coming against that individual, they losing. Five of Wands. That's the Knight of Cups. This is somebody who's involved in a fight. It's no fight. Like, you don't even know a lot of the stuff that's going on. But there's stuff going on. He knows that. Yeah, Five of Wands in reverse. Y'all losing that fight. Y'all losing. Anyway, Page of Pentacles in reverse. Right? People are trying to hurt people's stuff, right? People have projects going. People have intentions that they're trying to set forth. And then you have people with ill intentions, putting stuff out there, And this is basically, talking about the ill effects of, or the ill effects on the perpetrators of illness towards others, right? People trying to stab people in the back, and how they are getting their stuff based upon their stuff, right? They are being resisted right now from life. Life is resisting them for trying to resist others. You don't control nobody but you. But you don't know that, right? You don't get that karma is real. Look, you juju workers are stupid. You're stupid because of this reason right here. You don't control nothing, okay? Everything that you think you control, what you're doing is you're jujuing yourself, okay? Every ill energy that you send forth, okay, will act as a boomerang, okay? There is a mirror that thing will hit, and it will bounce right back to you, okay? So, you may win a fight with somebody who don't even know that you're fighting with them for a minute, a second or two, but if that person is in tune, and if that person got his shepsu, you're not going to win that fight in the ultimate, right? In the war, you ain't going to win that war. You're going to beat somebody, you're going to throw, stones at somebody and hide your hands, and, he going to look around and like, who did that, right? Or he can mess around and throw the cards, who did that? You know what I'm saying? But, you might win that fight, a couple times, you know what I mean? Until the time that the karma sets. You just don't get it. You don't think that karma exists. This is a mistake, and this makes you stupid. Sorry. I'm just saying it like it is. All right? You're stupid for throwing juju at people. People who work juju, even people who work juju for other people, you are dealing with energies that are yours now. You're jujuing yourself. That's the prime reason to stay away from black magic. Stay away from witchcraft. Because it's karma. That's it. That's it. Like, it's not hard. Like, you don't do juju because you don't want juju. You know what I mean? And some of y'all are seeing what I'm saying. Some of y'all know what y'all put out there with somebody else's name on it, right? Using somebody else's old clothes, some hairs that you found, hanging out. Man, look, y'all getting y'all shit. And that's on y'all. So, alright. Anyway, right? Ultimately, we go back to Osir, right? Osir tu chas, Osir tu chas. This is concentrate on your higher self. Chant Om. That's it. Chant Om with your life right now. That's it. Alright? So with that, I'm going to say peace and love, and I'm going to come back with some cycle readings for the folks. Some solstice readings. Solstice, cycle, it's all really the same stuff at this point. Where your spirit going to go, right? We can get you some direction for your spirit. Alright. Alright. Peace and love, y'all. Be right back.